Welcome back on this Friday evening to another episode of Brunch with the Fellas, reviewing the latest trending topic news and entertainment. I'm Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with me, Primo Grande, the one, the only, Cold Seasons. How you feeling, big cuz? How you feeling, man?
And I'm feeling like I'm still coming up off of Cinco de Mayo, man. It was
Off of the single, off the fifth.
yeah, it was a little festive, a little too festive.
You had a couple of fifths on the fifth.
Couple of fifths on the fifth, brother. And it was Taco Tuesday on Cinco de Mayo, so I had to overdo it.
I already know. I
Yeah,
already know,
was
man.
good with you, cuz.
I'm cool. I'm cooler, family. Another week in the books, and another Friday almost.
Yep.
But man, excited about tonight's topics, man. And the week has been crazy. It's also been a crazy personal week, but we ain't gonna get into that. We gonna get right to what we got going on. But man, it's been a crazy week. From airlines from hip hop to politics to social media to it's just crazy travel lifestyle. Um but yeah, y'all, we about to go ahead and jump into it, but before we do that, make sure to like and share this video. Also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so when we go live you never miss an episode of Brunch with the Fellas. And man, make sure y'all run on over there real fast, real quick, with all these high oil prices, and get you a dose of 1016 160 self sustainability by Ali Dawood El at www.bksoulfarm.com. Link is in the description. And also, don't forget right now, y'all, sign up, subscribe at DB Chef TV on YouTube, and put your name in the hat to win $100, y'all. We give away $100 each and every month right here on the third Sundays at the DB Chef TV network. So we want to support you for supporting us, and we thank you if you do. And like we always say, we got merch and everything. Links is in the description. If money's tight, it's all right. What can they do, Code C's?
Smash the like.
And let's get into these topics tonight. So first off, we got rapper Kodak Black, man, young yak, arrested again on drug trafficking charges. Though that's
Sheesh.
that sounds like we gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Then we got the collapse of Spirit Airlines and what's next, man. A lot of people been out here stranded. Um, over the past week, Spirit Airlines has shut down, and so we're gonna go and check that out. Then we're gonna head to Maryland, and we're gonna go see what's going on with Maryland becoming the first state to ban dynamic pricing. And I know people like, what? The world is dynamic pricing, okay? But we're gonna check that out. Then we got IG, y'all. Everybody on the gram, right? Is your gram lit? Is your gram lit, Code C's? You know?
Uh Ground.
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It ain't doing. I'm not doing too much for it to be doing too much. So it's kind of dry a little bit right now.
Oh man, y'all gotta help Code C's. Y'all gotta follow Code C's on IG, y'all. He said his gram is dry right now. It needs some juice. So y'all go help juice that thing up. But what they doing is they juicing up uh the privacy policy on IG right now. And they changing his DM privacy is DMs, direct messaging.
Hmm.
So they changing the privacy policy. So we're gonna go check that out and discuss some things on that. And then we got fifth and final, last but not least, a man tries to open a Chinese police station in New York City. This is a crazy story, but we're gonna check it out. Let's go ahead first and jump in, see what's going on with Kodak Black.
Bond is set for Florida rapper Kodak Black. The 28-year-old turned himself into the Orange County Jail on Wednesday after Orlando police put out a warrant for a drug trafficking charge. West 2's Christina Watkins is live outside the jail. Christina, the rapper just made his first appearance.
He did, and his attorneys did most of the talking, starting off by saying he flew into Florida from California to turn himself in. Now, remember, President Donald Trump actually commuted a sentence from Kodak Black that he faced a few years ago. But when it came down to setting bond today in court, that did not matter.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. If you can just tell me your name and your date of birth.
Yeah, Capri Sun.
Kodak Black spent nearly 15 minutes in front of an Orange County judge Thursday for his first appearance, while his attorneys argued for a lesser bond.
If you read the affidavit that is attached to the warrant, Judge.
The rapper, originally from Pompano Beach, Florida, is accused of trafficking MDMA.
More than 10 grams, less than 200 grams. That is a first-degree felony.
Orlando police said their investigation goes back to last November when someone called 911 after hearing gunshots outside of Children's Safety Village. It's a nonprofit organization. When officers arrived, they said they saw a BMW and a Lamborghini parked outside.
Neither of the vehicles are registered to Mr. Capri personally.
The report states officers smelled marijuana and started searching those cars. Kodak, whose government name is Bill Capri, then walked up. His attorneys said the cops found a bag with drugs and other items in it, which officers said they connected to Kodak's Instagram page.
And on one picture in his Instagram, there's a picture of him standing next to a bag that looks like the bag that was in the car. Now, I know PC was already found, so I'm not going to argue PC, but it's really screaming at me, but I won't argue it. But I mean, the case law on this is so very clear.
Criminal defense attorney.
Did you get what he was saying though, cuz?
Yeah. He found Kodak took a picture before that and had and the bag that they found appears to be in the Instagram picture. And he's not arguing probable cause. They had a probable cause to search the car, I guess, for whatever state they was in for the smell of the weed. But
in California though,
he flew back from California. I thought they said he flew back from California to Florida.
Oh, he came back home. Okay, he was back
to turn himself in.
Yeah, that's crazy though. But I'm thinking like, don't nobody have no medical cards?
Well, I'm not really sure what Florida law is on weed.
They got medical. They have medical cannabis.
Okay. So they probably do, and so like in Virginia, they can't just smell weed and search you. In Florida, they may still be able to smell weed and search you. Now, if they pull you over,
the cars was parked.
Yeah. So, so I guess in Florida, if they smell weed, they probably can search you and ask you for your car. Florida, a little different. But I don't think it's
why they don't have cards though? Why see the reason why I bring it up is because I'm just like, okay, I remember what the thought was. You Kodak Black. You that guy. You young Kodak. Okay. Why don't you have, like they getting scripts? Because the only way you getting the lean is to have a script.
On the street. They got it on the street.
I mean, that's some fake stuff. I don't know what the fake, but I'm talking about. But he Kodak, he not sipping no fake. You think he's sipping?
Yeah. But I mean, but I mean, like I believe he probably have a. I believe if he's sipping lean, he has someone that's still getting it for him. That's from the.
Of course,
from a script.
We seen young boy busting script. We seen young boy, have a whole charge though that he was having his people run plays to bust scripts.
Right.
So he got somebody that he get that from. So what I'm saying is if you have somebody that you getting that from, even if it was me and you was Kodak, and I'm just little cuz, and I make sure I help protect the bag, right? So we insulate it. So you tell me, little cuz, can your doctor get us some medical cards?
Yeah. You talking about for the cannabis, the cannabis,
or
right?
at least, yeah. Like so, can you get you a medical card at least, or can your doctor get it? Because I'm already getting the script bus, right? If that's just the theoretical, if I'm already getting us the cert and I'm getting it through somebody, I got a plug who's a licensed professional, okay. So then I should be able to go and I should be able to just be like, okay, I need a medical card too, so that way, you know, at least when we out and we together, you know, whoever want to smoke, hey, I'm rolling.
Right.
I got the card, and I got
Yeah.
it on me. You know what I'm saying? Because we can have it on us like that, you know. So, and then you don't get all that stuff. Then you don't get all that extra stuff going on with you. That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe, you know, maybe I
Yeah.
don't
So to
know.
get a medical
Maybe
card in California, you gotta
Florida,
have. I mean,
Florida.
excuse me, in Florida, you gotta have conditions like PTSD, cancer, chronic pain, epilepsy. $75 state fee. So I mean, yeah, you can get one, and I'm pretty sure he can go in there and say he got PTSD any day of the week or chronic pain. They can't tell if you got pain or not. You almost for sure to get a card in no matter what state that offers the cards if you want them. But before you get back into it, I mean, this is just because I haven't seen this, the interview or anything like this, or none of the footage that you're showing on this. Um, I think that the trafficking charge, I mean, not unless it was a substantial amount, to me, it's probably kind of bogus. Is
It's
he pretty much had ecstasy, you
yeah. I
know.
mean, he had that for the girl to get his freak on. You know.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's no secret that Kodak Black been struggling for a minute with substance problems and stuff. Um, but I think trafficking might be a reach because he has the money and the means to really, really traffic if he want to. And I don't think he was trafficking drugs. I think he had some drugs on him for personal use,
I think that
you
was
know.
personal use too.
Yeah, so
I
that
think all of that was, that don't mean he not gonna share with his, with his ladies or whatever,
right.
but I think that's for him. He,
Yeah, for him and his little party. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't really see that as trafficking now. One thing that Kodak should have been on, he already got a presidential pardon commutation or whatever you want to call it. I think he should have been on his P's and Q's. He should have had some people around him. I mean, even J. Cole, mentioned in a song about, how he wished Kodak had more guidance and stuff like that. And he just every couple years Kodak pop up with something crazy. But I still don't think
like
that it's trafficking.
it ain't supposed to be him that take that charge. You know, that's what I'm talking. Like, I mean, it sound crazy, but you protect the bag, so it ain't supposed to be him that take that charge. If the scenario I used, okay, yeah, I may have, and your name might have been used because it's bigger. We see people do that. We see them. They have put Kodak name. They use the superstars or celebrity name in it because it'll get more attention than if they just say my name and maybe I was at a venue where the superstar was. They don't want to give me the shine. They'll make it seem like, okay, Cold Seasons family tied to drug trafficking, right? But then when you look at the indictment, it's just me. And then the internet run with it and try to make it Cold Seasons getting ready to get hit with the Rico and all. That's how they run with this stuff. So,
Right.
I'm just looking at it like
Well,
not going off the topic though, but like I'm looking at it like, man, like why he don't have people around him that's insulating him better than this.
right,
You
right,
know?
and that goes with moving different. You have to. I think once you reach a certain level, you have to move different. If you're a star and you reach star status, and part of your getting a pardon from the president of the United States, you should move a little bit different so that you actually honor that and not keep getting into shit. You see what I'm saying? So it don't matter who the president was. If it was Donald Trump, but it doesn't matter. It was a pardon from the president of the United States. People do not get those that often. So at the end of the day, I believe that, he should have moved different, protect himself a little bit different. Like you said, have different people that's insulated around him. That's pretty much like advisors, that just, advise him not to do shit. And if shit do,
Advisors, but
yeah,
they be talking all this real ninja stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where your real ninjas at? Somebody who gonna say like, hey, yeah, nah, we not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to crash out. That's going, like we can't save you from that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like when it's
but
that's not part of being a real ninja, whatever that's supposed. I mean, I'm saying if that's your brother and he love you, and that's somebody who respects what you don't work to build to accomplish, then why would they encourage you, or why would they encourage you, or just not say nothing at all and watch you crash out, or watch you put yourself in a situation? Like, I'd be like, man, people really gotta watch who they keep around them, man, for real.
And then you got to think too, like, where you do have that person around you, be like, you know what, I catch that, if it's a weed charge, and they might be like, you know what, I got you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But
it don't matter what it is. It don't matter what it is.
MDMA. They might be like, I can't get no presidential pardon, man. You might go ahead and roll the dice, see if you can get you another one, because I ain't doing it.
But
I'm not going to jail for it, nigga.
He got that on the last one.
Right.
Okay. Right. But it's a difference. See, I wouldn't go to jail for a ninja either. Okay. But I would go to prison or jail for my family, for my brother, if what we agreed upon is my role in this team effort, and if that's what it consists of, then, and I ain't trying to be like no super street tough guy, none of that. I'm saying if that's my role, where I'm supposed to have, if I got an illegal prescription, okay, but we get caught with the cert, then I'm supposed to say this is my cert. Right. I'm not supposed to say, you know what I'm saying? And then if you my brother, right, or if you my friend, or you my real ninja, but have whatever hashtag they want to put on it, then I was already on payroll. You was already looking out. So that money is still be going to whoever, my mom, whoever we already talked about, that's who it go to. You see what I'm saying? So that'll still be showing love. And then when I come home, I go right back to because that's my role. Maybe you might even rearrange it and be like, hey, okay, because you done elevated, because you done been insulated and you've been making moves. Like, do you think, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if this is true or not, but do you think Bleak still hold the pistol for Jay?
Do I think Bleak still not technically?
Do you think Bleak is still Jay's shooter?
No, not technically.
Okay,
no.
Then so even if that was a real story in a theoretical world at some point in time, using those two people, like, he's not that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So things evolve. You supposed to, and that's what happens when you protecting the bag. Like Kodak is on the crash. It's only, like you said, I agree, it's only so many pardons you're gonna get though.
But didn't they say that? Okay, didn't they say that one time that Shine took the fall for Diddy?
Shine did take the fall. Shine is doing tours right now on it. Shine is online hot right now. He done did Queen's Flip, great episode too. He
right. But
he did one with Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder.
Get looked out for from.
No, Puff ain't do nothing for him.
Right.
But Def Jam did.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So but Puff ain't do nothing for him. And he talks about it.
Right.
So I don't think anybody's out here really wanting to take any examples from Puff.
Now, unless you want to get oiled up, that boy got it. He got the wholesale for you.
Yeah, yes, I don't think anybody's trying to take any examples from him. But talking about Kodak though, but Puff stayed insulated as long as he could. It was Puff Lorehead that got him in trouble.
Yes, he stayed super insulated and for a long time. But like you said, Kodak need those people around him. Like you just said a second ago, he's pretty much he's been on a crash out and spiraling for a minute. And hopefully Kodak can get his shit back together, man. What else we got on this?
Alicia Adamson Prophet is not tied to this case. She warned how state prosecutors could use social media against him.
Anything that you post on the internet, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, can be used against you. So you'll see, even though this was not the day of the arrest, they're using pictures from his social media to tie all of this case together.
Back in court, given Kodak's criminal past and prior convictions, a judge set his bond at $75,000. And it's worth noting, I just checked Kodak Black's Instagram not too long ago. There's now only one post on his page.
Damn right.
Yeah, so my man took his page down.
Yeah, and he posted that $7,500. It was 75,000, 10%. $7,500. You know, he got out. You know, so I mean, it's he gonna have to fight that. I think it'll get dumbed down from trafficking to possession. You know, but I don't know what that's gonna hold for him as far as anything that he already had over his head. You know, that if he
Yeah,
got in trouble again.
yeah, he may have already, had so many charges. But I don't think this gonna put, I don't think he going to prison or jail. You know, not for no $7,500 bond. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and like what just said, it all depends on what he had over his head from previous shit. You
yeah,
know,
I don't think he was on no that. I don't think he was on no probation or parole or nothing like that. Because once you get the pardon, all that's done.
he got a full commutation. So hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully the brother be okay. But more, and so I just hope he get the help that he need. And get up off them drugs because he looking terrible. I remember when he was doing good. You could see he looked good. You know what I'm saying, in the face and everything. Now he looks terrible. So hopefully he gets the right people around him and get some help.
yeah, we praying for Kodak Black, man. Get right, Jit, and get some people around you though, family, because you know some solid some folks you trust, because you know people not they not protecting the bag, but you got the tone to be able to set it. So moving on to our second topic tonight, we got the collapse of Spirit Airlines, and for real, we want to know what's next. Everybody wants to know what's next.
I'm at the Marine Air Terminal at LaGuardia Airport. Just a few hours ago, Spirit Airlines was running its regularly scheduled flights, but the airline shut down. As you can see behind me, it's eerily quiet. The kiosks are pretty much turned off with a message to passengers saying that the airline has shut down with a little QR code for more information. The shutdown was abrupt to many passengers, but this was really years in the making. Spirit was in bankruptcy. It had filed for bankruptcy twice within 1 year, and time pretty much ran out. It was looking to do an 11th hour deal with the U.S. government for a bailout that would have included $500 billion as a loan, could have given the government up to 90% stake in the airline, but ultimately the bondholders and the government couldn't agree on a deal. So 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, the airline shut down for good. That meant that travelers were stranded pretty much all over the country. They had to scramble to find.
Cause what you doing? You in the airport and your whole and the airline just go out of business, and what you doing at that moment?
Probably get a flight on JetBlue. I had a
JetBlue.
yeah,
You said you
yeah.
just going to
I mean,
JetBlue.
if you on Spirit, your next step is JetBlue. You know what I'm saying? Anything more than that, you might just be spending that few days in the airport waiting for somebody to send you some money or something. But
That's
I had
crazy.
I say that because I had an experience with Spirit. Where it was a situation where a flight had ended up getting canceled and had to end up catching a JetBlue flight back home. And then Spirit don't refund your money back until 2 weeks later, almost a month later, something like that. So you had to have money for the flight. You didn't get your money back right then, but you still had to have the backup money to catch another flight. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And so that's the way that happened. But I mean, if you in the airport, that's really and this right here happens. I mean, you don't have no choice. You can't. It's not even like you can go talk to a customer service person. At that point, when you call the hotlines and stuff,
Yeah, you can't talk to nobody.
you can't talk to nobody. All you
Ain't
can do
nobody up there. They all left. They
right,
all like,
right.
man, we ain't
The
getting
only
paid.
thing left for you to do is crash out and get in trouble for an airline that's closed.
It's
You
to
know what
try
I'm saying?
ice. It's to try ice.
It's to try ice. And they will lock your
You
ass
know
up.
what? See, they move ice to the airports. They might have known this was coming. They might have known. They was like, man, we got to make sure ice, because ice is good at hunting and corralling and escalating and de-escalating. So they like, man, we got to put, I don't know, that could be a conspiracy.
Well,
but
they try to merge. They try to merge Spirit Airline and JetBlue back in 2025. and it got struck down. It got struck down by the Biden administration. It was reviewed by a Reagan appointed judge, and the Reagan appointed judge said that it violated antitrust laws. So they didn't want to do the merger because they said that Spirit airline prices actually made other airlines bring their prices down. So they wanted to keep Spirit Airlines in place as a single operating airline to keep the prices fair, so that the top airlines couldn't just keep raising prices. They like having a airline that could actually make the other airlines bring their prices down so that people can travel. But
they like having it. They like having a cheap airline for people to be able to go on.
yeah, because if they charging $100 for you to fly,
Round trip.
from Jersey to Miami, and the standard was $500. You see what I'm saying? That makes the other airlines.
It's never been like that though.
What you mean?
It's not like Spirit. They used to have like $29 flights, $39 flights, but then you could always fly a Delta or a US Air for, maybe $120.
Yeah, but that would be with like good planning, and you done map Spirit. You can get cheap flight, but I will tell you, when you flew Spirit, you knew that you was on Spirit.
Yeah, I've never flown Spirit.
I flew Spirit. Let me tell you, bro.
Yeah, I don't do Spirit.
They got bucket seats. You know what I'm saying? They got bucket seats. They're kind of hard. They look like they feel like they was printed with like a 3D printer. And you was wondering if you was gonna land on or if you were gonna be a Spirit before the flight was over.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah,
and that's the way
we're not doing it. We're not doing it. The government was also trying to buy Spirit Airlines, but because they was just saying that they put a deal on the table, but
for $500 million.
Yeah, but I think it would have been a bad idea anyway, though, because Spirit would still need to operate at some sort of profit, and the government can don't worry. Really, if the taxpayers are paying for the airline, they really don't care about a profit. So, it would have caused other airlines to bring their prices down too. So the same thing would have happened, probably kind of like with those antitrust situations. But then there was also an idea of like, I heard some Black entrepreneurs saying come together and buy the airline. What you thought about that idea? Did you hear about that?
Nah, man, I didn't know that they was trying to do the real soul plane, but it could have been something. It could have been something if everybody would have came together. I know Tyler Perry, he's a big plane fanatic. But they said the Spirit has not turned a profit since 2019, losing over $2.5 billion since 2020. So, I mean, they've been crashing. I mean, I don't mean to use the word crash. They've been going down.
Yeah,
not going down.
Yeah.
They've been, in line for bankruptcy for a long time. It's been a long time coming. So I mean, it finally happened.
But bankruptcy is different than, because they got different filings of bankruptcy, right? So, but this is a complete dissolve. This is a complete out of business.
Yeah, it's out of business.
Yeah. So this is the chapter 7. It's not 11 or 13 type restructuring where you work on some numbers, get some new CEOs in there, get some new management, and a new strategy, redesign some, a new advertisement scheme. Like that's like, we are done. We can't even pay our debts. We can't do nothing. We can't pay our employees,
and I do believe the fuel prices had a lot to do with it right at the end. And they wanted to say, that's what did them in, but they've been going down for so long that I do believe that the fuel prices is what pushed it over the top. But I think if fuel prices stayed the same, they may have been good for another 6 weeks to 6 months, especially without getting that bailout from the government. So I would say shout out Spirit Airlines, but Spirit Airlines is out, so that's it. I mean, maybe they'll have somebody got to buy up all the assets. There's a lot of assets that's sitting around.
But
And
you
I
said
believe,
them planes is some bullshit though. Some so don't.
it is to me. And the only reason it is, I'm gonna tell you the only reason why it is because you used to flying Delta, American Airlines. So when you fly those
Yeah,
flights,
United.
and then you get on the Spirit flight, you really see the difference. So I don't want to shit on them to the point because Spirit gave a lot of people the opportunity to fly and get around and see different places in the United States. They wouldn't have been able to afford it otherwise. A
That's true,
family of
I'm gonna go ahead and put the boo boo on them though. Yeah, I'm gonna
put the
put
boy.
the. You said you're not gonna. You said you're not gonna boo boo on them, but I'm gonna boo boo on them though. Yeah, boo boo on Spirit. Goodbye, Spirit. Now the Spirit people can travel Frontier or something like that. I think that's the other one, Frontier, or
JetBlue,
yeah. Which
Front.
hold on, I think they're gonna show us a list. Let's
Flights
see.
on other airlines. And what we saw is Airlines, American, Delta, United, Southwest, Frontier, JetBlue, capped fares for those customers booked on Spirit so that they can get home. It was just
That's
a few
nice.
hours after Spirit shut down that we saw airlines coming in with new schedule announcements. JetBlue, for example, which had been number 2 at Fort Lauderdale for a while, coming in with a pretty robust schedule. They're adding service everywhere from Columbia to Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
There we
Spirit
go.
was
This
pretty
right here.
small, but Spirit goes.
So there you go. They give us the breakdown of the airlines and their capacity.
Oh yeah,
So
Breeze.
so
Yeah.
you got it's an airline called Breeze.
Yeah.
Never been in the terminal. I didn't know about Allegiant uh or Allegiant. I never knew about them. JetBlue, Frontier, Alaska Air. Shout out to Alaska Air, United, Delta, Southwest, and American. And I've flown Southwest too, but I prefer Delta. I'm in the Delta Sky Lounge though, so we've been working on that for years.
Yeah, I thought that Southwest is another airline because when not JetBlue, when Spirit came around, they had got a lot of assets from one. It might have been from Southwest. I think they got a lot of old Southwest planes because Southwest was going to upgrade.
Clearly, they did. If you talking about bucket seats,
Yeah, well, the bucket seats. No, the old Southwest seats was better than these bucket seats, bro. These is like these seats. When I tell you they were bucket seats, man, like they were hard with a little thin inch of thing, padding in it. Almost like a city bus. It was. Uh, yeah, man.
it was easy to clean.
Yeah, definitely easy to clean. Definitely easy to clean. There was no cloth. No cloth. And the fold down trays. Now you go on Delta, you go on the United, American. When you fold down your seat, your tray, it's a nice size tray.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. It is
The
definitely
trays on uh uh uh, uh Spirit,
right.
man, they were like this, like just I mean they were a little bit bigger, long, wide, but they was thin, you know what I'm saying?
So
You
you
didn't
just
have
got a little shelf.
right,
You got a little a
but
little.
we do got to shout out all the other lines that capped their prices, so that everyone could get home, so that wanted to go home, so.
Nah, they ain't have to. They could have just been like, "Look, this how much the price gonna be." They
No, I
could
mean,
have,
I'm shouting them out for capping their prices. They brought
yeah.
their prices down for everybody to, if you have flights on there, they got you
And I,
home.
and I
So
don't think they brought their prices down. See, I always think that when things are so called like a sale, it's not because like nobody goes in business to not make money. So I don't believe in that making a business because it just feels good. Like you do a nonprofit if that's what you're doing, trying to help people. But if you got a profit making business, okay, so they could have flown people for $70, all right, but their prices was already at 140. So they said, okay, well, we're gonna drop them down to maybe 120. Okay. They still made a profit. They ain't make as much profit as they was gonna make, but they still made a profit. So that's why I'd be like, they not really giving people no discounts, but it is cool they got people home, but them people was gonna get home regardless, whether they went and got Ubers all the way back or whether a Uber all the way back,
Nah, nigga.
or they went and jumped on the train or the bus or something,
Hey,
or
now,
when rental cars, because
hey,
people
listen,
did that.
I'm
I
gonna
seen
tell
plenty of
you,
news
man.
stories where people
Listen.
was getting rental cars, people was going to the Greyhound, people was going to the Amtrak in different cities, different locations, and just like we just going, this how we gonna do it the rest of the way.
Yeah, they said they're trying to put a they bringing up legislation to put introducing legislation to put TSA in train stations, not subway stations, but like Amtrak and
And
stuff like that.
and Amtrak,
Yeah,
that's cool. That ain't a
yeah,
bad idea. That's cool.
yeah.
Along the
I
way,
could
this
see that.
discount airline that had these double-digit fares will have a big impact for airfare around the country, because without that discounter there, other airlines will have more pricing power. And airfares are already going up. With the war in Iran, jet fuel prices have doubled, and that means that the airlines are passing those costs along to customers already. Experts do expect more consolidation in the industry. These high jet fuel prices do have an outsized effect on low-cost carriers. Their whole business model relies on keeping costs low and many times keeping fares low, so that leaves them with less of a cushion. Also, the larger airlines, United, Delta, American, Southwest, have these enormous loyalty programs that are tied to credit cards, and that gives them a very big cash cushion to weather shocks, a bit better than some of the smaller players.
Yeah, so you lost all your flyer miles with them. Anything that if you was a frequent flyer, Spirit flyer, you lost all that's gone. Now it's gonna be a mad dash from the big airlines to buy up all their assets. When they go to auction or whatever, however they dissolve it. But them planes got to go somewhere.
Yeah, they got to go away with Spirit, because Spirit is gone.
Spirit is gone.
Man, so moving on to our next topic, the state of Maryland becomes the first state to ban dynamic pricing. And you're probably like, well, what in the world is dynamic pricing? Well, let's find out.
Maryland is banning dynamic pricing on groceries and food delivery. AI is making it easier to change prices in real time based on customers' personal data. Now, Maryland is becoming the first state to ban the practice. Elizabeth Scelzi has more on what could be a growing trend.
Hey, Diane, this is a big move to try to crack down on dynamic pricing when companies use AI to change prices in real time based on customers' personal data. So you might pay a different price than someone buying the exact same thing at the same time. Maryland just became the first state to ban dynamic pricing at grocery stores and with food delivery services. As of October 1st, any store that uses shoppers' personal information to charge higher prices risks facing a $10,000 fine. Last year, a small case study found that Instacart charged different prices for shoppers buying the same foods at the same time. After backlash, Instacart later said it ended those pricing experiments. There have also been concerns with Walmart's shift to digital price tags in all of its stores by the end of next year. The retailer says that prices are the same no matter who is shopping. There is clearly some momentum on this. Dozens of other states have introduced legislation to try to ban dynamic pricing, including at grocery stores, or to force companies to disclose if they are using this strategy. Some consumer advocates actually say Maryland's law doesn't go far enough. For example, it doesn't apply to prices associated with stores' loyalty programs. While an Association of Maryland Businesses is pushing back, they say grocery stores don't engage in individual price gouging, and dynamic pricing is more common in industries like hotels, rideshare apps, and airlines.
Okay. Dynamic pricing. Did you know?
Yeah, we talked about it. Remember with the this was the same thing that we had talked about on a previous episode of Brunch with the Fellas, with the Uber. I mean the Uber Eats and stuff like that.
With the Uber Eats?
Yeah. And remember I did the example order of how how much price is and stuff like that.
No.
We
That wasn't.
We talked about. I know.
No,
what you're talking
that
about.
wasn't dynamic pricing.
Right.
That was how much it costs for the order to order.
I get that.
The whatchamacallits, the fees. That was
the
fees. That
the
was
fees. But what we was talking about is that people can order something and the price goes up and down. So you can order something like you can order, let's say you order an Uber. You can order an Uber right now on the East Coast at 9:45, and it might not cost that much. But when you go to order that Uber at 6 o'clock in the evening, it's going to be more. You know.
Okay, but that's not dynamic pricing. What she was saying, I could run it back.
No,
I was asking
heard.
if you caught. Oh, but you ain't say what she caught though. Like, or you good, or you get into it.
What's that?
Okay, what she's saying is based on your preferences. So like how much money you got in the bank account, how much, you know what I'm saying, how much money you spend. It's not necessarily like time. Like I get what you're talking about, where it's like
Yeah.
at different times it could cost more for Uber, right?
You're talking
But
about where they gather your cookies and they read your cookies and then they turn around and
they say, okay, well, we're gonna
Yeah.
charge you more because the way your cookies read is, you know,
you spend money.
you spend money for this, you pay for this, you pay, you know, they watch your spending habits and all this other stuff, right? And you have more money, right? Like your spending patterns are more expensive than, let's say, cold seasons. So when I go into the store to get the gallon of milk now, or if I order it online to get the gallon of milk delivered, like when you talking about they pick up your groceries and stuff, then they're gonna charge me $7 for the gallon. But because I got more money than you, or my spending habits are more than yours, I'm a more expensive person than you, all right, based on their dynamic pricing, all right, then they only gonna charge you $3.50 for the gallon of milk.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild, you know. And they said that this is already happening, or already have been happening with Uber, with rideshare, with airplane pricing,
Right.
you
Hotel
know,
pricing.
and hotel pricing. That's what they saying. That's why I was like, did you get that? That's what the wild part. That is wild, you know. And they said that they still doing it. That's why Maryland had to ban it, because they want the prices to stay the same for everybody. It shouldn't be based on because I got more money than you that I gotta pay more money. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if I want to go buy a Bentley, I need to have the money to do it. Just like if you want to go buy a Bentley, you need to have the money.
So
to do it too.
what the risk to that is? The risk is to the greedy companies. They can turn around and say, well, you know what? We're just gonna charge everybody the premium. Forget the dynamic pricing. You can't afford it, you can't afford it.
But
You know what
that
I'm
ain't that the
saying?
way it is already though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you want,
So
because if you want to go buy the Bentley with the drop top and all that, right? You got to pay that price. If
no,
I
I'm just
want
talking
to,
about like some Duke's mayonnaise or something. We ain't even gotta talk about the Bentley, the
but
Duke's mayonnaise.
but
Like,
when the price go up at the store, it go up at the store for everybody, right?
yeah,
Right.
it's supposed to. It's
Because the
supposed and it's
manufacturing costs went up.
right.
If we saying
But
the
now
price of
what they're
oil went
saying,
up,
if you go online and shop, online, like say I order my groceries Instacart or whatever, then the dynamic pricing my groceries based on the information they gather from me may be, $50 more than the person that bought the same exact things at the same exact time from the same exact store.
yeah, but because because your analytics add up, you know, your habits and your cookies or whatever, you know what I'm saying, all them things, because they add up, and your what do they call it, a personal profile score, your social score, okay, because they got that in China too. They've been testing that out over there too, your social score. So because my social score is higher, and I have a higher pay scale, because all our money is digital anyway. When you get paid, you don't get no check no more or get cashed out. You know, you get some digital numbers in your bank account, and that's it. You know, so that's all that could be tracked. All right, it already is being tracked. And if they looking at that, if they are taking into account all of that stuff, just like you said, yes, your purchase could be 50 cents more in total. It could be $50 more in total.
More in total, right?
You
Right.
know, than somebody who makes less. And that's you seeing it now. That's what I'm talking about. That's foul. That's what dynamic pricing is. but it's already going on in other places. So Maryland had to go ahead and go on and ban it, so that way they can, so what we should encourage people to do is go to their legislature and say, hey, we want y'all to ban dynamic pricing in this state too. When you talking about folks going to go vote, because that affects everybody at every economic level right there, because the people that make more gonna get charged more. But that still don't mean that they're gonna lose money on the people that make less. That ain't how business work, because
they're not gonna lose. They're gonna get more out of the people that make more. They're gonna make sure they get the most out of. They're gonna squeeze them like lemons. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you order something.
But the people who already struggling, right? They get squeezed like lemons when the manufacturing price go up, because that's the cost of inflation. So everybody gets squeezed.
Right, and and that's because the manufacturers.
So what they should do. So what they should do is they should allow it. That now the manufacturer got to pay the cost of business, but the consumer actually pays the cost. All right, but that's fair enough, because if it costs me 10 to make it, I can't sell it to you for 10, because I ain't making no profit.
No, that's not. They don't
right.
That work.
But if it costs me 10 and I'm selling it for 15, all right, then 15 is fair for you, and it's no matter what level it is. If it costs 15, it costs 15. It shouldn't cost you 12 and then cost the other person cost me 15.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, like that's some wild stuff.
But it's another thing to be on the lookout for. Is somewhat of into this topic, but not the exact thing. We probably gonna have a show about it in the future at some point. But they want to start monitoring people, give them scores on their carbon footprint.
It's gonna be a carbon tax.
Yeah, and it's gonna be based on what you buy. So if you buy with your card, so you buy your groceries, they can tell how many boxes you got. You get Amazon, they can tell how many boxes you're sending back to the landfill. You get gas, they can tell how much emissions you're putting off. And they want to give you a carbon score. And I don't know what the hell that look like, but we will see one day.
It's gonna get taxed.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get taxed for it.
You're gonna get taxed for it. Yeah. That's how much carbon you emitted, and you have to pay
pollution
taxes.
And stuff like that.
And pollution, a pollution tax. It is a human pollution tax, family.
There's going to be
a human pollution tax.
It's coming.
Ain't that crazy?
And it's going to be based off your spending.
That's crazy.
That's the thing. They're going to monitor your spending.
But everything's digital already. It's already going digital. You can't get away from it. It's already going digital. It's a whole era of children that don't even know how to sign their name cursive. It's a whole era of human, that don't even know cursive.
They don't teach it no more.
No need for you to have a signature. You're gonna have a carbon tax.
Right.
Right. So just focus on your ability to pay.
You don't need a signature. You got a password, identity.
You got a retinal scan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got that now.
Yeah, they do. Hey, literally the door on my house. I have a key, don't know where it's at, never use it. I get in my house with my thumb.
Yeah, seriously. Biometrics, man. That's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure if I could have got a retinal scanner, I might have got one. But I don't need all that. Might get that for the gun safe or something.
You never know, family. But I'm just like, we're headed that direction in totality for everybody, where there won't be a choice in a minute, because I'm just like, the big thing is if we see dollars, if we see ATMs done, if the ATM is done, I wonder what that'll look like when the ATM is done, when it's just like, nah, everything's digital. If you ain't got access, if you ain't got a debit card or access to a card or some chip or something where you can scan something,
I got some cash stashed up, but literally it's stashed up. I have not. I don't know when the last time I touched money. Period. Don't know when the last time I actually touched physical dollar bills. I just don't. I haven't used them in so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I haven't used them in so long, but man, we keep a couple pesos, man. Just
You
a
got
couple
yours
pesos.
that close. Mine is stashed, just like
Yeah,
mine's stashed.
because it ain't that. Yeah, because I ain't got
you
no
know,
stash.
yeah, I got a
Yeah,
stash. I got
yeah,
a
the
stash.
stash is in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I got that stash too, but I got the
yeah,
cash
stash
stash.
is in the bank. I ain't got no cash stash, man.
Yeah,
We ain't
yeah, but
encouraging
I haven't
nobody to try to
I
lose
haven't
their
had.
life.
Look, listen. When the wallets started looking like this, you know what I'm saying? Where
Oh
you put
yeah,
the, where you put
yeah,
the
you know,
cash at? So I
you
mean,
know
I
how
don't.
we do. You know how we do.
Right. I got.
You
Hey,
know,
look, when I got
Gucci
this, it
gang,
was so.
Gucci gang.
It was so
You know what I'm
sleek.
saying?
It
So
was so sleek and so just cool, just pop up, pop out. And I got rid of. I got 2 brand new wallets in the house right now. Never even been used. I'm talking about the fold out wallets. But this right here,
I'm old school. I'm always gonna have a wallet.
well, with work and stuff, I love this right here. So
Yeah, yeah.
And then I go to the store. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Just
What's
put it
that?
up to the register, bing. And I
Oh
pay for
yeah,
my stuff.
I ain't on that. I ain't on
Yeah.
that though. Nah,
That's
I do swipe, but I ain't on the. Nah, we not on to put the phone up and just bing. We haven't advanced that far in technology yet, because I still see them little things that people can walk by and just scan your phone and take,
So yeah,
and do
that's
whatever. So like,
that's. I mean, they did have those. It used to be they can walk by and scan your wallet and grab it. The phone is a level of security, so it's not like I can just like when it comes, I just put it up there. I literally have to do shit with my phone, let it scan my face and some more shit, and then So it's not the security is pretty good on it. You know what I'm saying? But I
okay.
mean, person walk up on me putting something up to me. I mean, but you never know. I seen pickpockets online doing some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
pickpockets. I mean, if somebody get the drop, they get the drop. It don't matter if you got, you know what I'm saying? So
And then another thing,
ask Gucci man. Now we about to move on though. We
Yeah.
about to move on to this next joint. So we got Instagram changing up its DM privacy policy. This is a crazy story because everybody got the gram. So let's jump into that real quick.
Changes are coming to your Instagram direct messages. It's happening tomorrow. Your private conversations on the app, might not be so private. Terrence Lee tells us what you need to know in the final hours before the change.
Big change for Instagram tomorrow night. Meta is pulling a privacy layer from your DM. So some of you have your direct messages encrypted right now. That means nobody, not even Meta, can read them. That sound, that message, after May 8th, Meta can read it because the company is removing the encryption layer from Instagram.
Did you ever know that? Did you ever know that your DMs, that Instagram couldn't even read your DMs?
Yeah, it tell you. It actually tell you. It lets you know that your DMs are encrypted.
I never knew that.
I think that's a crazy thing to lift though.
I never knew that because I never, I don't be DMing nobody. It doesn't go down in my DM.
Yeah, it's encrypted.
Never knew that though.
But the only thing that I see that's bad about that, if you like on a DM call or something, that mean they can listen in and do all that stuff. But I don't think that that's right for the social media company to be able to just read your shit. At the end of the day, if it's a subpoena, from a law enforcement, I do believe that they should be able to get it, because it may solve a crime or something like that. But just a blanket lift up the whole blanket on everybody, I just don't think that's cool at all. Even though I haven't heard the whole story yet, I just don't think it's cool.
Instagram direct messages. Digital privacy expert Harry Morgan says what happens to your old chats is not fully clear.
Download your encrypted messages while you still can.
If you turn that feature on, go into those chats, download the backup, but where you save it matters.
If you turn around and upload that downloaded chat backup to Google Drive or iCloud or any other cloud provider, you're uploading the unencrypted raw version of these chats. So if your whole purpose was to keep it out of the hands of data brokers, be cognizant of where you store that backup file as well.
And Morgan says switching to WhatsApp is not a complete fix. Meta owns that too and still sees who you talk to.
How often you're communicating with that person, how many times per day, the time of day, if it's late at night, if it's early morning. They can see the network of who you communicate with, which is very valuable in their algorithm of how to show you different pieces of information, optimizing your feed, your interests.
If secure communication is important, Morgans recommends leaving the Meta universe altogether.
One of the more widely known names for secure chatting is Signal, which is a nonprofit organization that's transparent about all of their security, all of their encryption, and it really does work well.
The timing is not an accident. Congress just told platforms they have to see harmful content to remove it. Researchers found a deepfake was attempted every 5 minutes in 2024. Aliston Berry was 15 when it happened to her.
I felt responsible and began to blame myself and was ashamed to tell my parents despite doing nothing wrong.
Other survivors came to Washington to make sure it never happens again. Among them, advocate Breeze Liu.
Shame, the violation, the loss of control, it all consumes you. We have the legislation to create accountability. Now we need the will to act.
The Take It Down Act gives platforms 48 hours to comply once a victim reports it.
Yeah, it sounds like that Instagram is now it sounds like that IG is now saying, you know what we gonna do, y'all? We're gonna do some dynamic price. We're gonna help with dynamic pricing.
Because you got to it before I could. You did. I'm over here hitting my vape. That was the next thing I was gonna say. I'm about to say, you know what this is. This is and they framing it up as deep fake AI stuff, security. They're pretty much saying, well, you know, when someone harass someone, we need to go back and look at their emails and see, their DMs and see what their pattern is and if they can be banned. It ain't about that. You know, it's like the guy said, this information is very, very, very valuable to them.
Very
you know what
valuable.
I'm saying? If me and you going back and forth in a DM and I say, hey man, do you know where I can get, let's say, some glasses from or a hat? I'm just looking at us. Glasses from or a hat. They know that I'm searching for glass. Now that's information that they did not know, not unless I posted it on the page. Now they can go in there and say, boom. So now every time you open your phone up, it's an advertisement.
It's an ad.
It's an ad.
For some new frames.
For some new frames. You know, for some new frames. They're selling.
Crazy.
They're selling your information for frames. That's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And they framing it as security. That's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they removing the layer of security.
They removing it. They saying no more security no more privacy for you. No more privacy for you.
I see Meta getting sued for this one right here. So
no, they not. I bet you. Well, you know what? Let me say this. They're gonna get sued, but they're not gonna lose. Because their user agreement says that they can change their privacy and their user rights. Like, we are the only way that you are not subject to the rules of these social platforms is by not using them.
By not using them, yeah. And they even said to leave Meta altogether.
Yeah, that's what they ain't give you no other solution. They ain't give you no other settings to adjust or none of that. They told you stop using it.
It's laughable. I mean, Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, Threads. You know what I'm saying?
The news.
Yeah. So I mean, it's, you know, a lot of people just not gonna care. You know, personally, I don't care because
there's no such thing as privacy anymore.
Yeah. You know, I don't care because, bro. First of all, I'm not saying you know, if I really got sensitive information for someone, you know, it's in a conversation. You know, hopefully personally, but even over the phone when you're talking, none of that is guaranteed because, you know, I don't want to sound crazy, but I feel like there's been times that I'm just talking around my phone or I have a conversation with someone on the phone and I still get advertisement. You get what I'm saying? About what I was talking about. You know what I mean? So like you said, you done
Now
said it
you're not crazy.
you said it 3 weeks straight. You have said it,
Yeah.
and I've been paying
Yeah,
attention.
you're
You
not
said it
crazy
3
with
weeks
that.
straight that there is no privacy. You know what I'm
Yeah, there
saying?
ain't no
So,
privacy.
so at the end of the day, I really don't care about them seeing my inboxes. You know, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm not talking about shit in my inbox. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right?
Matter of fact, you have to tell me. You be like, hey man, I sent you something. And you gotta tell me that it's there for me to even know that it's there. You
Yeah,
get what I'm
that's
saying?
because I ain't
So I
even
mean,
know
I'm
that it
not,
was
you know,
encrypted. I didn't even know
but
that it was encrypted.
and then
And the
the young
young
folks,
people,
they're not gonna care. They ain't gonna care. I mean, they post everything anyway. You know,
already, right?
they'll say they about to go hit a lick and tell you who they gonna go hit a lick was, and then tell you how successful they was or unsuccessful they was after the lick. So they don't care about none of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, at the end of the day, I do think that they're gonna run into problems with people, you know, because you do have people out here that's using those inboxes for like legitimate business and stuff like that, you know, and sometimes the business probably do have some sensitive information, which you shouldn't be going through that route to trade sensitive information. But a lot of people are getting their clients from social media. So if they can steal your client list, you know, like say DBCHEFTV has the shirts and the merch and all that stuff like that, and the person goes on and they hitting you up about it. You know, who's to say Meta is not stealing the data so that a competitor can come in and start bombarding them with advertisement and take away from your sale to where they was actually coming to you first. You see what I'm saying? So I think
I
that's
mean, it could do that, or it could be sending me other ways to advertise. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
it could work. It could possibly work both ways.
It has. I mean, it definitely has to, because
they could possibly be sending me more stuff for the Postmates. And do stuff like that, you know.
Someone has to win and someone has to get screwed. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that. So I believe that's what's gonna happen. I believe that they're gonna get some kickback. Excuse me. I believe
But
that
who kick back though? Like I heard you just say something, but I don't agree with that because it goes back to and I don't agree specifically with the fact that like people using that as a tool for their business. Like their kickback don't mean nothing. Like they're not even gonna get, they're gonna be like, okay, like a little flea, like I get off me, because or like an ant or something, they're gonna be like, get off me, because this is our platform. We make the rules here. So you could be mad all you want, don't use it. Like, and that's what it go back to. Like the news said that. So yeah, the kids do what the kids do. They're gonna, you know, like you said, somebody gotta be a winner, somebody gotta get used, right? But at the same time, like the people who own it, who like, oh, now I can't do it like this, you know.
Yeah, but those are not. I mean, honestly, those are not going to be the people that's going to make the moves. It's going to be some lawmaker, you know, that's probably like having an affair on his wife or something. You know what I'm saying? Or got some stuff in the inbox that they don't want seen, and they will pick that fight. You know,
they just told them you got till midnight, y'all. Y'all got till midnight. That if you out there doing something on your wife that you did, or your partner, your spouse, whatever, significant other, if you doing crime, because you got till midnight tonight, all right, to be able to download all of that stuff or delete it. Yeah.
Friday. I thought they said it was like in November or something. When
they said it's May 8th.
Really?
It's today.
Well, I ain't got nothing in mind.
It's today.
Man. You know, it's just...
And also, y'all make sure that if you're using IG, that you know, like read nobody ever does, but like, I encourage people, man, read the user agreement, because then when stuff like this happens, people won't feel like, I can't believe that they doing this. Like, man, we using these people's stuff. It's their rules. And we can't get so caught up in just using it for what we think is our advantage, and not understand that, like, if they turn it off, then we don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we not in control of it. You know, I think a lot of people, them people who get mad at like, oh, y'all did this, even the theoretical politician, they want the theoretical politician cheating probably already knew that this was going to happen weeks ago. So what they doing is they trying to position themselves to buy one of them data companies that's going to be able to, one of them AI companies to be able to invest in watching everybody so they can do dynamic pricing. That's what I want to know, the companies that's going to be. That's what my next move is. My next move is finding out who are the companies doing this dynamic pricing, because I know one thing, or trying to collect this data to sell this data. What are those companies? Because that is going to go forward. No matter how upset people get about it, no matter how many people quit IG, no matter how many people keep using it or new users come onto it,
right?
It's going to keep going. And the dynamic pricing on here, we already digital everything pretty much. It's still the only thing they haven't done is just remove gas stations and ATMs.
Listen, but right here, listen. It's a private messages. Our messaging products offer end-to-end encryption, so your conversations stay safe and secure. This is literally what they have. They're not even announcing. They're not even announcing that they're changing it. This is literally on the, as soon as you hit privacy center, that is what it says right there. You know, so they're not announcing a change to what's about to happen. You know, so I mean, it's
the change doesn't happen until midnight tonight.
So, but I think
so. You early, so you early, and they haven't. You early. You got there early, and what you are expecting is for something to be over top of it to says this policy will change.
Yes.
Or updates to update. No, because they don't have to tell you. Remember, we can update or change the terms of the user agreement whenever we feel
without notice.
Without notice.
Right.
And there you go right there, without notice. So let's move on to this next joint right here, our fifth and final topic for the night. Y'all make sure to smash that like button. Y'all still rocking with us.
Smash the like.
Man, we got this is a wild story. A man tries to open a Chinese police station in New York City. This is one of the craziest things. But let's check this out.
Next, a Chinese-born U.S. citizen is on trial this week in federal court in New York. He's accused of taking orders from the Chinese Communist regime illegally.
So he is a U.S. citizen.
Yeah. Right. So I heard about this. A while ago when ICE started running around and whatnot. I didn't know that was this story. I thought it was fake. I honestly thought it was a fake thing. I didn't know that this really, really happened. When I heard it the first time, when it was going down in real time, I thought it was a fake thing.
For sure, boy, it's real. Let's see what they talking
about. Including opening a Chinese police station in the heart of Manhattan. NTD's Flora Hua was there in the courtroom. Here's the latest from the trial.
Can a U.S. citizen open a Chinese police station here in America without telling the U.S. government, and also at the CCP's direction? That's a central concern of this trial. United States v. Liu Jianwang. Liu is accused of conspiracy and of acting as an unregistered foreign agent for the Chinese regime. He is also charged with obstruction of justice. Prosecutors say he deleted messages with a Chinese handler after the FBI became aware of his alleged activities. Federal prosecutors and defense attorneys both finished the opening statements during today's trial. Defendant Liu Jianwang, also known as Harry Liu, has been accused of setting up a Chinese police station in Chinatown in Lower Manhattan. In China, the Ministry of Public Security, also known as the NPS, oversees the country's police force. Unlike police agencies in many other countries, Chinese authorities are tasked by the CCP with suppressing pro-democracy activists, faith groups, and other dissidents. and prosecutors say that campaign has extended overseas. In 2022, China's ministry
It look like they police be doing the same shit to they people that be happening over here. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, he was just putting foot there. I'm just saying. Let's run it back real quick. I'm just saying, like it looked like they was putting belt to hind parts right here. Look right here.
They are.
faith groups and other dissidents. And prosecutors say that campaign has extended overseas. In 2022, China's Ministry of Public Security launched a plan to establish overseas branches. Prosecutors allege Liu flew back to China to attend the launch meeting. They say Liu later returned to the U.S. and helped open a Chinese police station in Manhattan. His defense attorney argues the office was set up to help Chinese nationals renew driver's licenses. But the prosecutors say his actions violate laws and undermines U.S. sovereignty. According to court documents, Liu admitted to the FBI.
Look at right there. Does that look like something we done seen?
That might be Lou right there back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got ICE, they got. I'm not gonna say that. But that looked like that might be Lou back in the day. I'm not sure. You know, and at first, and before we go forward, at first, I was like, you know, that's like making sure that his community got policing and where they be scared to talk to the American police and stuff like that. But then once I realized what's really going on, I'm like, nah, you can't do what you're doing, Lou. You know what I mean? He literally got a Chinese police department to police them, but in a way that is negative to what we're seeing on the screen right now. You know, so that he can lean on the people, the Chinese people in the United States and intimidate them. You know, his police department was intimidation. It wasn't to make sure that Chinese Americans was getting a fair shot at law enforcement, at justice, shall I say. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I feel about that. At first, I was like, well, what's wrong with it? I mean, but you can't open up a Chinese police station in the United States, man. You just can't do it. You can't open up no police station from no other country in the United States, period.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Hold up for a second, because you might be right, but you might be slightly.
That he worked with the former director of China's NPS 610 office. The office was launched to specifically target the faith group Falun Gong. Liu also admitted to taking part in CCP's organized counter-protests against the Falun Gong practitioners in Washington, D.C. Now, Liu's co-defendant Chen Jinping has pleaded guilty in 2024 and is awaiting sentencing 1 year after they both were arrested. Liu has pleaded not guilty to all charges. If convicted on all counts, he faces up to 20 to 25 years in prison. Reporting from Brooklyn, New York, Flora Hua, NTD News.
Now, this the thing, Cole. Okay, so they're alleging what he was doing. But what I didn't hear was that he was bullying his people in his community. I didn't hear that.
I heard that. I heard it. I heard when they said that.
They said that specifically, or was it that was an interpretation of something that they said? What they said?
That they go after religious groups, and he said that it originally.
That was in China. That's not here.
Nigga from China, man. He from China.
Nah, but that's
and he's with them.
Nah.
And he went back to attend the meeting. Is pretty much like the meeting to how you do this.
Right, but you can't do that over here, though. You can't
do that over here.
You can't do that over here. So, and he never did that over here. That's what I'm saying. So he went back to it. If you go back to your native land and participate into something that you don't do in your foreign land where you live at, all right, where you got a business at, what if it's I don't know, what if it's a blood sacrifice of, you know, a ritual,
an animal or
of
something.
an animal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just say, okay, perfect. I don't know if they still do this because I think they lifted it. I think this is the last year that they could do it. But I think in South Korea, they eat canine. All right. So what if you live here, you go to school here, all right?
Mhm.
But then when you go back home, you eat canine. All right. But you don't do it here when you here. That don't mean when you get around your friends here, we know we here. We don't do that here because everybody eat McDonald's and everybody eat, and that's not what we do over here. But when we get over there, we can't wait to taste fluffy, you know, because it's a cultural thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, not even in his defense, because they already got their mind made up what they're gonna do with dude. I'm just talking about with the story. It's
Right.
it's nothing wrong with having your own police force for your own community, because right now, you know who does have their own police force for their own community? Right here in Brooklyn, New York.
Who that? Jewish people?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So I think like, hey, and then whatever the community agrees to, you know, like nobody's policing them to say, are y'all treating y'all is it some type of, you know, Jewish racket being ran or this, that, and the third, with you and your people doing this with each other and doing that with each other? Nobody chastised them like that. So I'm just like, even if he did have his own police station, all right, it couldn't be a CCP police station. It would have to be like wherever they are. He was in New York. It should have been like maybe
China America Outreach Police.
No.
Shit,
No, I'm talking about the same way they got it in, just modeled after the way the Jewish community has it. Okay?
Let me tell you something. He
Where
was
they have
sent over here.
where they have their own ambulances. All right, they have their own police force. You know, it's part of New York City Police Department. But I'm just saying, but he incorporated like that. And then it would have been the majority, it would have been whoever. So a lot of their officers are Jewish, right?
But I think
Jewish faith.
when acting as a foreign agent, that's when you
How
get
they,
into the.
but if he was a U.S. born citizen, how he acting as a foreign agent?
They didn't say U.S. born citizen. They
Yes,
just said
he
a
did.
U.S. citizen.
No, they didn't. They said U.S. born citizen, family.
And then he flew to China to get the info on how to do this. It's too much to unpack. I don't think. No, he can't do that. He can't do it.
You know
what I'm saying? He can't do it.
You can't.
Let me tell you something.
You can't run it the way they painting the picture to run it, but you could do it. You could.
Let me
do
go
it
downtown and say
by-
I'm gonna open up a black police station.
Okay, so how you do it is so you wouldn't go downtown and do it. What you would do is you would start a township. Okay.
Yeah, like the Indians. I get it. I get
Okay.
it.
Not just like when was Richmond founded? When was Virginia founded? When was Brooklyn founded? When was this Pottstown founded, or Luryville or Jacksonville? When was those towns? All them towns is incorporated. They businesses first. So I would open a town. I would buy some land and then open the town. You got to probably have like, you know, a firehouse, a school.
No.
building,
I'm not
all
trying to
that.
open the town. I'm trying to open a police station.
But when
I'm just trying to
but
open
when
a
you
police
go
station.
but when you go over there to that community that we was talking about, who is setting the example, they got the firehouse, they got the police station, they got the restaurants, they got the house, they got the
Right. So they
the
got
city building.
They got sovereignty.
They're not sovereign. They're American citizens.
No.
family.
They're American citizens, but they can operate on their land. You know,
No,
on their own land.
these people in New York City, that ain't
What you
their
talking about
land.
in Brooklyn?
Yeah,
Nah,
they paying taxes.
So
like
how did
else.
tell me? So how did this Jewish police station work? Like this Jewish police, how did this work? You know, like do they call
come
J11
to New York one time? We're gonna go to New York one time.
Yeah, I'm coming.
All
You know,
right?
we coming to the vineyards, man.
All right, next time I go to New York, we go to the vineyards. We plan the trip and we do all that, right? Okay, I'm gonna take you through there, cuz you know that little song they got Offset or Quavo, one of them Migos, take me through there with the girl. Take you through there, cuz.
Well, not with the girl, cuz man. You can tell your cuz through that. God damn, man.
Nah, you know, Quavo song is with a girl, ain't it?
I don't know.
Ain't there some girls on that song or something?
I
But
have no idea.
Yeah, I know it's just not him by itself. It ain't a solo cut. But yeah, I'm gonna take you through there, man, and let you see and see how they got it. You'll be amazed. Like it's just
Now you remember
like,
Tone?
wow.
You remember Tone from up south? He took me up through the Jewish community in New York, and I was amazed. I was honestly amazed. You know what I'm saying? Them people,
man, I'm just saying, like they got their own stuff and they
got their own everything, man.
Yeah,
you know?
and they shop with each other first. Like they dollarly, like it's a real community. You know, it's a real community. Like everybody agrees on at least one thing: we all Jewish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get black folks to agree that we all black. Some people black, some people African American, some people this, some people that, some people, oh, I'm Baptist, oh, I'm Christian, oh, I'm Democrat, oh, you a Republican, oh, you light skinned, oh, you dark skinned. Like, bruh, it's so much division. And I see that, and I'm just like, when we talk about this story with this
real.
You know, with this Asian guy, you know, yeah. What they saying that he did, if he did any of that, yeah, he going to prison. You can't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, there is a playbook, and I don't see why that can't be duplicated, because ain't none of them folks going to prison.
But you know, when you hear in news, normally when you hear in the news these words, operating as a foreign agent, normally it doesn't end well for the person that they're saying was operating as a foreign agent.
Yeah, I'm hip. I'm super hip. But I'm like, he was a US born citizen though. They say that out the gate.
Right, right. But that trip that he took changed things. And then you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, for them to grab him up like that and do that, you know, one thing about the United States, the intelligence gathering, it's not slack. You know, they pretty much they'll get the information that they need to make the case. And in some cases, they might get information that they don't need to make the case. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that when it comes to someone operating as a foreign agent that they faking the funk. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have.
You don't think they can be lying? You don't think they can lie? You don't think they could be trumped up charges on them?
I think they could
trumped up or trumped
I
up.
think they could be. I think it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Now we have our own set of problems as Americans, right? Just us living in the United States.
I just named some just for the black folks alone by themselves. Everybody else's problems, I don't really be concerned myself.
Right, right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got our own set of problems, but I believe when it comes to foreign shit here on the soil, on our soil, I don't think I think we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight in house. You know, but we should not be playing around with foreign agents in the United States at all. Period. No matter if you're a Democrat, no matter if you're a Republican, black, white, you know, I think it's something to be taken serious. And I think you know, he deserved his day in court. But I think that, you know, it should be taken very seriously if that's something that he's doing. You know, and what I gathered from it is that, you know, he wasn't a Chinese activist for the good of the people. He was sent over here for Chinese checks and balances in the United States.
That's their side of the story, though. That's the side of the story I'm getting, you know. So if I'm going with that side of the story, I haven't heard his side of the story. I don't know what their defense is, you know. But based on what the case is, the United States against this person, you know, I'm just saying, like, if it's that, if he's guilty of that, then yeah, of course, you know.
You know, and like I said, when it all started, I was all for it. I was like, boom, well, if it's just like community policing for the Chinese, but then when the story, the narrative of what you said, that's their narrative, was that it was for checks and balances. I couldn't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I agree, you know, if we had a special black envoy, you know what I'm saying, that when police are called, you at least got somebody there. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. But if it's for the black envoy to go out and intimidate, I'm not for it. You know what I'm saying? So You know, if you want,
but
if you
wouldn't
want,
the black, let me ask you something about this black envoy thing, because that's a real good thing. But we're gonna wrap this up real quick. I got this one quick question. But the black envoy, right? Would they be there to just be mediators between the people getting the police called on them and the police, or would they actually be there to actually have some significance to prevent people from even wanting to do those things that needed the police being called on them in the first place? Because when you said that if they have a presence that is, what was the word you used? You said if they have a presence, if they are intimidating. That was it.
right,
You said intimidating.
right, intimidating.
Okay, but the thing is that discipline always comes from being intimidated by something, intimidated by the consequence of the bad action. So if we demonize the intimidate and there's no discipline or direction, there's no order with the intimidation, then it's some negative context, because now it's like that group that's there, that black group, is breaking the rules. They're not enforcing the rules or enforcing the standards, so that way people won't have to need the police called on them. And then if we have a problem, then we have a group of mediators that we can go to who are setting the example.
Yeah.
Right. And then they can help the other people resolve their issues. So you don't need the police to come into it, right? The people that don't look like you, that don't understand you, that don't come from where you come from, right? So that is what the Jewish community has established. If this Asian person, this guy here, was trying to establish something like that, okay, then intimidation is going to be a part of it, because any law enforcement is always intimidating to everybody. It's always, you don't want to be a bad person to have the cops come for you. It's always was the cops and the robbers, and the good guys and the bad guys. So there's always a psychological level of intimidation that automatically comes with just even a person in uniform, the military. Oh my gosh, when they come, they're dropping bombs. It's, so you have to have a structure. And I would love to have something like that. I think that's where community begins, because then it's less calling the police, and it's more respect within that environment between everybody, because there are some elders or some leaders, who are setting the example.
Right. And I get what you're saying. What I get that you're saying is that the envoy is just not deployed when the police is called, but the envoy need to be out proactively making sure people are doing things so that the police don't have to be called.
I'm just saying, like, what's the point of having it?
Well, I mean,
what's the point? What's the point of having it?
What I do want to say about
if they're not going to be in
point,
that capacity,
right?
Then what's the point of having it? Because then, in other words, you on your own anyway. You might as well just call the police.
So what I want to say about that is you 100% right about your point. Now, when I started that, I was just making comparison with the Chinese man. So you're right about your point with that. But at the end of the day, I think that when I first stated that, it was for, like, you kind of show up, or people can call, because you have people that have in-house domestic stuff. They don't want to call the police. You know what I'm saying? So you can call your black envoy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that instead of it being a thing like that, but like what you said, that should be something where people are going out and I guess they call it community policing.
So let me ask this. I mean, I could call it, a elders group in the community, we could call it community police. That's fine too, but like the example, and I'm just rocking with it because you still keep talking.
No, but right? you gave me the laugh. You gave me the laugh just now. I gotta hear it.
But but what you said was a domestic dispute. So what do we do as the community police, or as that interventionist group, or that task force, or that stand? What do we do when we go to the house and somebody done beat their spouse to death.
Okay, so listen.
You know what I'm saying?
Now listen. Hold up.
Because
Now,
we
listen,
supposed
hold
to
on.
be there
When I
for
said
before
domestic
it get
dispute,
there. Yeah, domestic.
listen,
Somebody
but
get
listen.
caught.
No, but see, a domestic, to me, a domestic dispute, domestic is anything that can be happening in the household, like a runaway kid, the uncle that came over and touched the kid,
Fam, that's
shit
not a
like that.
domestic dispute.
It's domestic. Domestic is in the house. I'm not talking about domestic violence. I'm talking about a domestic dispute.
That's not a domestic dispute is between a spouse and a whatchamacallit, or two lovers. That's not if your daughter run away, you know what I'm saying? That's not a domestic dispute. That is a missing child report. That is that or a kidnapping, possibly child endangerment or something like that. Now, what we talking about is like having those people in the community. It shouldn't be none of that situation. You know, that stuff should get. It should be enough
Rooted out.
activities. Yeah, it should be enough activities for. It should be parenting classes on, because it's other people setting examples. Like, we don't do that no more. You know, nobody cares about the couple that's been married for 30, 40 years, and they not 50, and they in they late 40s, or they just right at 50 something. Nobody cares about them people. Nobody cares about the people that's 80 and been married for 60 years, you know, to get the game from them. Don't nobody be doing that, you know, and we don't have those structures where we see that on a regular basis. We see love and hip hop, toxic behavior. Okay, where if he don't beat me enough, he don't love me. Okay, that's the stuff that we are seeing, where it's what do F my baby daddy. What about even trying to get a husband? I don't need a husband.
Independent. I'm independent.
I'm independent, you know. So like socially, bro, like when we don't see, that's what that group will be there for. Those select group of people, those people, they would be the married people. They would, you know, and we wouldn't give a shit if it was a same-sex couple in that group. You know what I'm saying? Because you still need to know how to be civilized. Who you screwing is your own business. Okay.
Right, but as soon as we go to Africa and attend a conference and come back home, they're going to say we're foreign agents.
I mean, I ain't got no reason to go over there in the first place. You know,
I'm just making an example.
Yeah,
you know,
but that's only if you come back and you have to do something that is sketchy, you know, because if you following that formula that they doing, then you're able to fight that in court and say, we're not doing nothing that isn't already being done. And we're doing it exactly like they're doing it. So now the only reason why you wouldn't be letting me do it is because of the color of my skin. Because and then now, you know, now you got lawsuits and all that, and with the courts and Supreme Court and everything. But who know how that's gonna go with all this other stuff the way it's been going.
Yeah,
okay?
They ain't got enough people for cases right now. So that's a whole nother thing. But
so I'm just like, that would only be that. But if you take the playbook that you see this group of people doing already, this community of people doing it, of families, individuals, and, you know, utilizing their resources together and things like that. Okay, then only reason why we don't want to do it is because, you know, we're traumatized from slavery, which they already just said, we don't care about your trauma. Don't ask us for reparations ever again, because we made it legal. So we're not going to apologize. And we don't think that it was the gravest crime ever committed against mankind, especially not the black folks, because y'all was 3/5 of a human being when we made the laws, and we can't be wrong or do no right by some laws that we made that was right.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm not rooting for the Asian guy, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, it's one side of the story, and I didn't see him. I didn't hear the evidence that they was permitting said that he tried to do any of those things that he went and did over there. The seminars he went to or the sessions that he went to, I didn't hear him come back over here and do that stuff.
Well, we ain't hear nothing from him. I mean, we just,
No, they didn't say, the prosecution didn't say, they saying that he went and did that stuff and that's what he was interested in. And they saying that that's what was his plot was to do with the police station over here. But he never got to manifest none of that stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, thing about it is,
he never did none of that on American soil.
So they say, I want to see more evidence. I'm saying this trial, the trial just started this week, right?
Yeah.
I want to see more evidence. This the second I've heard of it. Like I said, I heard of it when it first happened, but it was so much going on in the world that I was like, oh, this some bullshit. There ain't no Chinese police station in the United States. But I'm gonna follow this. I'm gonna follow it, and maybe we can come up with an update show. On one of the shows in the future here soon.
That's a bet for sure.
Yeah, and do that. But
Definitely.
yeah, this was a great one.
Yep. So tonight, y'all, we had rapper Kodak Black arrested on drug trafficking charges. It sounds it's so much hype, man, but I do not think that he was really drug trafficking. I think it's I
don't think so neither.
Technically, but I mean, and I hate when people use technically. I mean, if they saying that he brought drugs from one state to another, then yeah, that's drug trafficking. I mean, dang, but I think it was personal use.
I think what it was it, and I know we wrapping the show up, but I think what it wasn't, I don't think it was he brought it from one state to another. I think the quantity was beyond personal use. So they can give him the trafficking charge because it was more than personal use.
Man, what's personal use? How do you determine what somebody personally you're going to use?
Well, I mean, you have, okay, so like in states where cannabis is legal, you can turn around and you can have say you can have an ounce of cannabis. But if you have that ounce of cannabis in 3 bags, it's no longer personal use. You see what I'm saying?
I get that. Yeah, that's it's packaged for distribution.
Right. And distribution is trafficking.
They can interpret it like that, but if it's in 3 sealed different, if it's so let's say you got zip and you got like well, not even a whole zip. Let's just say you got a half, so you got like 4/8, and then they all different flavors.
Right.
Are you distributing now?
That's subject to the law in that area. I mean, I don't say you are. I say you got 4 different flavors. You know what I'm saying? And you go into one bag to another when you want to have a different feel.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just like, so that's why I asked the question. The question was rhetorical. It wasn't like it needed an answer. I already know that we don't define what is the legal amounts or what is a logical amount, even in description. The thing is that,
and it wasn't trafficking for a $2,800 bond.
It wasn't trafficking.
Come on, man.
It was possession of. He should have been hit with possession, if anything. Okay.
And it's going to be felony possession because
like I said, he shouldn't even have been the one who caught the charge in the first place. Let's not forget that. Kodak, you gotta have some people around you, man, that help protect the bag, and you gotta move smarter. Man, then we had the collapse of Spirit Airlines.
Yeah,
we had the collapse of Spirit Airlines. People was on Spirit Airlines, and it's done now. So you got Frontier. What's the other ones? JetBlue.
Yeah, and that other one that is one up from Spirit, but yeah, you got those people.
Okay,
and yeah.
Or get with some of these, get your credit together and get with some of these companies. They got the discounts and stuff where you can get the points and stuff like that. And, fly right. You ain't got to be in the bucket seats. We got Maryland becoming the first state to ban dynamic pricing. We talked about dynamic pricing. It looks like that it's coming either way. All right. So, I don't even know how to prepare for that. I can't even say spend more cash, make more cash purchases. because it's like when you go to the ATM and you withdraw the cash from the ATM, that's recorded. So just because you withdrew the cash from the ATM doesn't mean that it still won't be counted in your carbon score because you used paper money instead of doing a digital transaction.
You're going to have to get a friend that, you know how you buy stamps, food stamps, people buy food stamps. You're going to have to get a friend that don't make a lot of money to make purchases for you.
Yeah, that's crazy. But they stuff gonna end up going up anyway because you're gonna have to pay them, right?
Yeah.
And then they gonna go spend the money. So now when they go spend the money, you know, it's gonna make a transaction for them. So they're gonna end up, so then they're gonna be like, man, I was trying to help you, and now they charging me
grocery
the same.
bill is $4,500.
Now they charging the same amount. So it ain't no running, no hiding from it. Just get ready for it. Be prepared. Don't be scared, you know, and just pay attention to these things, these digital things that's happening, along with these Instagram changes.
Private policy.
Yeah, like it's just coming to it. You know, these Instagram changes, the privacy policy, the watching of the transaction or who you talk about, you know, like Co-Season was saying, sometimes they be on the phone having a conversation and then you actually do. I believe that's real because that's happened to me. You begin to see ads popping up on your devices, on your computer, laptop, whatever you're working with. And yeah, it's here. It's not one of them things that's coming. The AI is here. The dynamic pricing, the social scores, the end of privacy is no such thing. And then we had the man tries to open a Chinese police station in New York, and that's an interesting situation right there. We're gonna keep y'all in tune with it. Co-Season said he gonna follow it, and we're gonna bring some of that back. We're gonna run that back. So that's all we got for y'all tonight. We want to thank everybody for pulling up, hanging out with us. Make sure to like and share this video. Also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Brunch with the Fellas. I want everybody to have a peaceful, positive, and productive weekend.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, we got that coming up this Sunday. And definitely y'all be safe out there. And until next time, I'm Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV.
And I'm Co-Season at DBCHEFTV.
Yes, indeed. And we are the Brunch Fellas. Peace, Big Cub.
Peace.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksofarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. You are the key to your financial freedom. So unlock your inner wealth with financial fundamentals at Bows on the Table. Subscribe today and never miss a meal at Bows Podcast. Bows on the Table, now streaming on YouTube. At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at DBCHEFTV.com.